Hello everyone, my name is Erox. You're here on my channel Ero, pretty much short for Erox. And I know it's been quite a while since I've made a video, especially on Infinite Flight. I made a couple Infinite Flight videos earlier last year before Global came out, and I had quite a bit of views, not a hell of a lot, 10-20,000 views on some videos. And I only made a couple of videos, and I did grow quite a few subscribers. I went from about 70 subscribers to about 500, all based on those Infinite Flight videos. And I was playing Infinite Flight the other day on my iPhone, and I was thinking, why hasn't a PC version of Infinite Flight been launched yet? You know, I've always wanted a PC version of an Infinite Flight, and my reasonings are, I have it on my iPad mini 2 and my iPhone 10. Now, not to complain too much, but on my iPad mini 2, Infinite Flight does not run very well. I can put it on the lowest settings possible, and yes, it does run sort of smooth, definitely not 60 frames per second, and when I'm playing on global, the iPad heats up very fast and the battery drains quite quickly, and so what my idea was wait for an iPad mini 5, generation 5 to come out. And by the looks, Apple isn't going to be doing that anytime soon. They've had the iPad mini 4 generation out for ages, the generation 4 of the iPad mini, and they haven't really updated that in quite a while, so I don't think they're going to be bringing out a 5th one anytime soon. So anyway, I'm playing it on my iPad. It's a little bit laggy, and I kind of would love to play Infinite Flight on the higher definition settings, you know, now with Global coming out. When you look at this video here on their website, look how high def it is, look how HD it is, look how smooth it is, you know. I just want to play that. I want to play Infinite Flight like that, 60 frames per second, nice and smooth, really high graphics, HD, no issues. And the problem is, I don't really want to spend a couple $100 extra on an iPad just for that, because I know the only reason I will buy that iPad is to play Infinite Flight. So I want to know, why isn't there a PC version of Infinite Flight available? I know it's a mobile simulator and everything, but why not? So I'm not the only one that has thought this in the past. There was actually a poll that went up on the Infinite Flight forums by like the head developer or the founder. I don't know who Laura is. I think she is pretty much the head developer or founder of the people that created Infinite Flight. That's as far as I know with her. I know that she's pretty much the biggest part of Infinite Flight from what I've seen publicly. Anyway, straight to the point. About 3 years ago, Laura posted on the Infinite Flight community forums saying, for quite some time we've explored the idea of shipping the app on Windows PC. You guys already know that we have a PC version we use for development. We would also add proper joystick/keyboard support, but the initial version would be the same as what we now have on mobile. And so the poll was pretty much asking, would you be interested in Infinite Flight coming to Windows computers? So this is what I'm filming on now, as a Windows computer. I would love just to minimize this, open up Infinite Flight and start flying global online. You know, I could play with a whole lot of friends too. I have a lot of computer friends that play computer games, not so much mobile games. So convincing them to buy a mobile simulator for $5 or $6, then invest another 60, 70 New Zealand dollars for global is a little bit hard. I'd happily pay up to $20 to $25, even maybe 30 New Zealand dollars, just for the Infinite Flight application on Windows. If it was on the Steam store or whatever it is, it would be so cool. Anyway, so they did this poll. They had just under 2,000 voters. Let's have a quick look at how many people voted yes and how many people voted no. So as you can see here, the large majority of people voted yes. Most of the people that voted in this did want Infinite Flight on Windows. They did want it on the computer, you know, that would be really cool. A lot of the comments were saying yes, we want it on Mac as well. Most people saying Mac, but there's still a lot of people that wanted it on Windows. In general, if we could have one of each, one for Mac, one for Windows, that would be really cool. Now, like Laura said, they do already have one for Windows, and it's normally the one that they use for development when they're creating new parts of the game, or the simulator, sorry, when they're introducing new aircraft, all these kind of updates. I'm guessing that they test it mainly on a computer first, and get everything kind of more right, and then start putting it on mobile devices and seeing if it all links up and works properly as well. I'm guessing that's what they do, but they only have it for the development team, as you can see in this photo here. Personally, I think it would be really, really cool if we could have it out for the public. So me, you, everyone watching this video has the option to play Infinite Flight online on their Windows computer or Mac, whatever you have at home, you know? And if it could be cross-platform, so people on iPhones, iPads, Samsung tablets, all the Android tablets, all of those can also play online at the same time with people on computers. So I could play with people and fly in LAX, you know, or San Francisco, or anywhere, you know, Houston. I could fly into those airports and be flying next to people that are also flying on their phone while I'm flying on my computer. I just don't understand why this idea kind of dropped 3 years ago after they made this poll. This poll had a great response, so many people keen. I know it would take quite a bit of work, but we've already seen Infinite Flight do big updates. The global update was a pretty big update, especially for a mobile simulator, and it took a lot of hype and it took a lot of time to finally launch it because it was such a big update. So I mean, how hard would it be for them to create a public version of the Infinite Flight app but on computer? They already have one themselves for development. How hard would it be to alter that so it can be used by anyone publicly and you could sell it, you know? I don't know about you guys, but I'm very keen. So far, I've only seen a few videos on YouTube of people that have been able to do this. The way they do it is they install an emulator. So an emulator is pretty much an application on your computer that makes your computer think that it's like a tablet. It's an emulator. So pretty much it's a program that acts as if it was like a phone or a tablet, and you can install the app onto that thing, onto that emulator, onto that app onto your computer and play it through there. So now I've tried this. One night I spent about 3-4 hours trying different emulators to play Infinite Flight on computer. I did get one to work, but it was insanely laggy. I couldn't even get 15 frames per second. I couldn't even take off without, you know, crashing because it was so laggy I could not control the aircraft properly. This guy here has seemed to be able to link his joystick to it somehow by the looks, unless he's faking this video, but it does not look like it's a fake. He's definitely playing it on a laptop PC, and then he loads it up and starts flying, and he filmed it with his phone to prove that it was all legitimate. This has all happened. As you can see here, most people liked this video. It's got almost 20,000 views. That's almost 20,000 people that have looked for Infinite Flight on PC on YouTube and watched this video. Most of the people in the comments are saying, can you guys show me how to do this? You know, how did you set this up? How do you download it on PC? What's the joystick? You know, all these people are asking, how did you do it? Well, how did you do it? And he did reply to one guy, pretty much saying this: you have to install Remix OS on the Google apps and then get Infinite Flight from the Play Store. So he installed an emulator. Like I said, that was the only way you could do it. I've tried it multiple times, guys. Spent hours on end trying to get these things to work. Got one to work and it was insanely laggy. And I only got it to work once. Every time I went to go load a new flight, it would almost load and then it would crash. It was like Infinite Flight knew I was not playing on a real device. It wouldn't let me log in and play. So that kind of sucked. So somehow this guy has done it. He is the only one I have seen do it, except for the developers of Infinite Flight. So maybe if we raise our voice high enough, or maybe if I can just get an answer, that's all I'd like. You know, I'd also just, to make me comfortable or happy, all I'd like to know is why a Windows PC or a computer version of Infinite Flight was never launched or looks too far into. Look, they put the idea on the forums, they kind of talked about it and mentioned it. You know, they said, what if we could do this? Would you guys be keen? Most people were like, yes, let's definitely do this. We would love this. And that was 3 years ago. And apart from that, there hasn't been really much else since. There hasn't been much more from Laura or the team regarding it being on Windows PC. As we can see here, though, they still use it for development. This was only taken last year. This is obviously before, not long before Global launched. And here is Laura. She is also showing it, and it looks like she's specifically taking it with the logo behind her, and you can tell it's not just the logo. Down there it also has a flight loading, so that definitely means that she was testing or playing on the simulator on Infinite Flight on her computer. Look at that big screen. Imagine how cool it would be playing on that on your big computer. So that's my opinion, guys. If you guys are watching this and you do still play Infinite Flight, I'd love to know your opinion. How much would you spend? You know, if Infinite Flight came out on the Steam store for computers, how much would you spend for it just for the simulator? I would spend maybe $25, $30 tops, and then pay for Global on top of that, you know? That's what I would spend myself. Let me know in the comments, guys, if you would be keen, if your computer would be able to play this. I have quite a gaming computer. It's definitely much more powerful than any iPhone and Android phone out there. As most computers are these days, guys, they are more powerful than tablets and phones, so they will be able to handle the simulator a lot better. You'll be able to play on the highest graphics with a higher frames per second. It'll be nice and smooth, and you shouldn't have to worry about too many issues. So that's the main idea of why I think that it should be launched or should be looked into. So I do know that Laura here did watch one of my videos last year. She commented on it and was kind of laughing. It was a bit of a mockery of the global update, but it was all just in good fun, and she did laugh in it, she did comment on it, and that was really cool to see. So she has seen one of my videos. I don't even know if she's subscribed or what, but hey Laura, or if anyone at the Infinite Flight team is watching this video, I would just love to know why it hasn't been looked into, or if you guys are currently looking more into it. It'll be really cool to know, and I'd love to have a quick chat if you guys are up for it. Apart from that, guys, I'm going to maybe bring out a few more Infinite Flight videos as I go by. I don't want to feel like I have to bring out videos and start finding things to talk about. I only talk about things that really interest me on the game, and this is something that really does, and that's why I've had 10 minutes of talking about it. So I'm going to wrap it up here, guys. Thanks for watching. If you want to keep up to date with more Infinite Flight videos, hit subscribe on my channel, and I'll see you in the next video.